If you're a coach or a consultant or a course creator and you've struggled to define the outcome of your coaching program, I've put a series of videos together to help you solve this question once and for all. You see, coaches, they endlessly struggle with this idea of like, how do I decide, what niche I'm going to coach in? I like wealth and health and spirituality, and I want to teach my clients about mindset and all this other stuff. It's a difficult decision to make. I've had these conversations with my one-on-one clients over and over again. I've made these videos to help you make this decision the right way so that you can grow your business to 6 figures, but have a lot of fun doing it as well, because you feel really confident and relaxed because you know you have the ability to get results for your clients. My name is Brian Elwood. I am the author of Nail Your Niche. This is the blueprint to building a 6-figure coaching business on the right foundation. You can get a free ebook copy of this using the link below. Lastly, if you have not watched part 1 of the training yet, I will put the link in the description so you can go and watch that one first. All right, guys, thank you for being here. And without further ado, let's get into the training and I will see you there.
All right. So in this training, we are going to continue to dig into this challenge of creating your ideal outcome. This is part 2, where we're really going to deep dive into the piece that's all about it being specific, quantifiable, and measurable. We spent a little bit in the last training learning about the importance of this, the importance of your offer being very specific. By the way, I'm going to use those 3 words, specific, quantifiable, measurable, interchangeably. I'm referring to the same thing each time. I should probably just pick one, but I like them all. However, before we dive into this, I want to start off with a few examples so you're clear on what I mean when I say a specific outcome versus one that's not specific. So not specific would be like, I'm a life coach, or I help people create what they want in life. I help you grow your business. I help you get in shape. I help people improve their relationships. Those are not specific because if you think about it, like those could mean so many different things if you were to actually break them down. Now, on the other hand, specific outcomes look like this. I help people choose a cash flow real estate market. I help people lose 10 pounds. I help people create their first online course. I help people buy their first rental property. I help people build their website. Now, if you're looking at this and you're like, Brian, you're going to make me pick something that's specific, and it almost feels like those outcomes are a bit simple or surface level, just bear with me because I'm going to explain why it's important that your outcome be this specific and how it's actually not going to limit you. So the actual act of making your outcome specific is not that hard. When I put the materials together for this training, I was like, I don't exactly know how much to tell them in terms of how to make their outcome specific, right? Because it's really as simple as shifting it from something like I help men improve their relationships to I help men find their ideal partner. You see how the first one is like improve relationships. That could mean anything, right? Relationships with who? In what way? Intimate relationships, friends, but helping men find their ideal partner, you could physically see if they got the result or not because they're sitting there with their arm around their new significant other and their face is smiling and they got that specific outcome. So that part's not hard, but what I've found is hard is getting people to actually agree to do this, getting people to commit to choosing a specific outcome. People often do not understand why this is so important and they don't want to limit themselves. While we're going to spend a little time at the end of this making sure your outcome is specific, and I have an exercise for you to do, we're going to spend most of this training deep diving into the why you must do this in the first place. I find that when your clients understand why they must do something, the philosophy behind something, then the how is not that hard because it's just getting their buy-in on the why. So that's why I spend a lot of time in my material helping you understand why something's important, because you have it in your skill set to implement the how with a little bit of guidance. So have you ever purchased something when you were not sure what you were going to get? I want you to actually think about that for a second. Think about all the stuff that you buy. It could be physical products. It could be paying your bills. It could be coaching programs and like just everything that's literally on your bank statement or credit card statement. Did you ever purchase something where you were not sure what you were getting? I'm guessing that most of you are sitting here thinking, well, no, I'm pretty sure everything that I buy, I know what I'm buying. I'm not an idiot, Brian. So if that's true for you, then how could you expect your prospects who are thinking about buying your product to purchase it if they do not know what they are getting? So I personally, as a coach, I've been doing this for about 6 years at the time of this recording, and I've had so many examples where I gave multiple free coaching calls to somebody. They said they loved what I did. They got so much value out of the call, and I thought they would definitely say yes when I finally made them an offer. And when they politely declined, which most of them did, I was completely floored. I was honestly a little pissed off. I was like, what did I do wrong? Do they not like me? I've given them all this value. How do they not see the value in working with me more and what it could do for their life? You're sitting there thinking about the implications of what you do. It could affect your health and your finances and your relationships and your happiness, and you won't pay me X amount of dollars for that. Have you ever felt that way? Where somebody turns you down and you're just like, how do they not see this? I think many of us have. And one thing that I even would believe sometimes is that person had mindset problems or they had limiting beliefs about working with me or getting coaching. And the funny thing is, the key to selling your products actually lies inside of that statement that we all have, or that question that we all have, which is how do they not see the value in what I'm offering? The truth is, my prospects did not have mindset issues or limiting beliefs. They literally just could not see the value. They couldn't see it. They could not make the connection. And that was my fault. And that was one of the hardest pills to swallow, especially when I had been told no so many times over and over, and I'd spent so much time cultivating these relationships. It turns out, guys, people do not give you money because they like you. They give you money because they can see how you will help them get what they want. You will help them solve a problem, help them achieve a specific goal. The biggest problem that most coaches have is they are not clear about what they can do for people. And so they get told no, and they take it personally. And I can speak from experience because I did this so many times. So I ultimately came across a coach by the name of Eleanor Strong. And she's really well known. She's kind of underground famous in the online coaching space for helping people write up their offers and their posts and defining the outcomes that they create for people in a really specific way. And she's fantastic at this stuff. And you should go follow her and join her free Facebook group. I think it's called Organic Secrets or something like that for high ticket coaches and experts. But if you search for her name, you should find it. And yeah, it's Organic High Ticket Sales or Coaches, something like that. You should go see and just go read her last 5 posts in there, and you'll understand the philosophy of being clear. And I worked with her one-on-one, and she helped me take what I did and make it very specific. So this product, what I do, I help coaches pick their niche. And the next one, it might be helping them build their webinar or create their online course. And I would bet you have no doubts about what any of those products would do and whether or not it would be something that you would want. So if a coach has been waffling on his niche for 2 years and he sees a product that can help him finally fix that once and for all, what is that going to be worth to him? Well, it might be worth a lot if he's passionate about sharing his message, making an income, doing what he loves. He's also frustrated by how long it's taking him to get going. But the important part there is that he sees how that product will specifically plug that hole for him so that he can get past this niche stuff and actually start making the impact, sharing the message, making the money, and all those things. I've seen the light about how important it is for your outcome to be specific and measurable. And once I did, it's actually really hard for me to see all the coaches and experts who are trying to operate without that in place. So I got some silly analogies for you. I want you to imagine that chopping down one tree equals selling one of your products. Now imagine a forest full of people all trying to chop down trees. Picture that in your brain, but all of them have a wooden mallet, like the one in this picture here. They're literally chopping wood with a flat piece of wood, right? How well do you think they might make a dent in the tree at best, right? I'm talking some big trees here, okay? So to me, that's what it looks like when I hop on Facebook and I see all the different coaches posting and making content, desperately trying to get clients. Unclear outcomes equals wooden mallet. If your outcome is unclear, you are out there trying to chop down a tree with a wooden mallet. Now I want you to imagine another forest full of people, but this time they all have chainsaws and they're chopping down trees with ease. They're literally chopping down one tree every couple of minutes. Those are the successful coaches and experts. They have clear and specific outcomes, and their clear outcome is their chainsaw. Like if you picture the online education market as this very crowded, noisy place, you're trying to penetrate into that market. And if you're trying to get in with a dull message, especially at the point of saturation that it's at right now, you're really not going to have any luck. So in the next training, we're going to make your offer even more unique and special so it really resonates, but it has to be specific in the first place. Otherwise, you literally do not stand a chance. So if this is happening, then why are most people choosing to use that wooden mallet? Well, the truth is that those people just simply don't know it's happening. I didn't know it was happening when I was that person either. But even when you tell them it is, they'll say, well, I don't want to limit myself to just one thing. And I said the same thing too. It just felt very constricting. You should know by now, going through this course though, that the next product you create, it's not the thing that you have to do forever. And you should also know that you get to share all the depth of your knowledge and stuff once people pay you for your product. So most people just don't want to limit themselves, so they just carry on hacking away at that tree with that stupid wooden mallet that's never going to fall down anytime soon. You need something that cuts through all of the noise online. People have really short attention spans nowadays, and if they cannot see how you help them solve a problem, they're simply going to move on from you because, let's be honest, they have a lot of options to solve their problem. And there's other people out there who are speaking more clearly about their problem and offering a clear solution. Why would they not go with that person instead? And it was interesting when I first discovered this, and then I looked at all the big players in the education space, like shared some about Brendan or Amy Porterfield or Dan Henry in this course. When I looked at their offers, which offers, I use that word almost interchangeably with outcomes just because they're linked. But when I looked at what they were offering, I was surprised. Part of me was like, if they're so advanced and so successful, why are they selling programs on seemingly basic stuff like how to launch your online course? It just seems a bit like a relationship coach. Everything doesn't have to be about digital courses and stuff, right? But a relationship coach might launch a product on how to get one date a week or something stupid like that, right? Not that it's stupid, but my example is. You think like, wow, that just sounds so rudimentary almost. Like, does this relationship coach not know more than that? Can they not like help them with more than just getting a date? Seems kind of basic, right? But now, having gone through all this, I understand that what they're really doing is they're positioning their offers in a smarter way. How to launch your online course is way better than how to grow your online business, because growing your business is just vague. Like, that could mean marketing, it could mean sales, it could mean branding, it could mean mindset, it could mean affiliates, partnerships, content creation, ads. Like, there's so many ways to grow an online business. But how to launch your online course, that's very specific. Everyone knows what an online course is, and launching it means that it's done and you've got it for sale. That's clear enough, right? It's so much clearer than the second option. So even though the program very well may be about growing your online business, because launching a course is, of course, a part of growing an online business, you can't say it that way if you want it to resonate with anyone, and if you want to get sales. Is this making sense now? So you're not limiting what you have to offer. No one's going to put a gag in your mouth or tell you you can't talk about what you want to talk about in your paid content with your clients. All you're limiting is the marketing message so people can understand what quantifiable result they'll get when they buy. So physical products, I like to think about this in analogy, because physical products, they have a lot less work to do in regards to pulling off this specificity angle. And that's simply because you know what you're getting when you buy them. When I buy a cup of coffee, they always give me the coffee. I've never purchased a cup of coffee and not gotten the coffee, right? When I buy a new laptop, that exact laptop arrives in the mail and I can hold it in my hands. I know the outcome that will result from the money I spent. I simply know what I'm getting. But when you're an online coach and you're selling outcomes that are not physical products most of the time, you need to talk about it so specifically that it's almost like they got something in the mail. And in fact, that can be like a funny or a fun way to think about how to make your offer specific. If you could package up your outcome and actually mail it to somebody, picture them like going out on the front porch and getting the box cutter open, because it'd be a big box, right? Because your outcome's awesome. They're cutting open that box and they flip open the flaps. Like, what would be inside the box that would physically represent your outcome? As I'll share with you in the questions at the end, if you can't in any shape or form describe what that would look like, then your outcome's probably not specific enough. What would be in the box? Like their ideal partner? Would it be them with a six-pack or minus 20 pounds? Would it be $10,000? Would it be the cure for anxiety? All right, so I hope that thus far, this piece where we're just talking about the why has helped you understand the importance of your outcome being measurable. As a result of breaking your outcome down into steps, which you've done on the niche scorecard, you might very well have a quantifiable outcome already. But if not, or if you're not sure, I've prepared a few questions for you to answer that can sniff out whether or not your outcome is specific enough. So head back to the niche scorecard and click on the tab at the bottom labeled outcome. All right. So you should see this in front of you. And what I want you to do is simply answer these yes or no questions. First one, my outcome is so specific that at the end of the program, I would know with 100% certainty whether my client did or not achieve it. That question reminds me of when people say set SMART goals, specific, measurable, etc. Those are the two parts that matter for this. Like, if your goal was to make $100,000 this year, at the end of the year, you know with exact certainty whether or not that goal was met. It's literally a number. Did you make $100,000 or more? Or did you not? If you did, you met the goal. If you didn't, you did not achieve the goal or the outcome. So is your outcome specific enough to where you can just clearly know, yes, the client did or did not achieve it? Question number 2, I can state my outcome in one brief sentence. I help coaches pick their niche. I help entrepreneurs lose 20 pounds. Can you just real quickly state your outcome and you don't go into this narrative where you're rambling like everyone else does? Yes or no? Next question. I could tell a random person what my program does and they would understand it. So if you were at the coffee shop and the barista said, "What do?" You said, "I help people train their puppy." Maybe that's not specific enough because train them on what, right? You could say, "I help people housebreak their new puppies," right? So making them where they don't pee in the house. It's real specific. And that person would not only immediately understand what you mean, but they'd probably remember it. If anyone else in the coffee shop said, "I got this puppy who's peeing in the house," they'd probably point over at you and say, "That guy or girl has a program that could fix it." That's one of the secrets to getting referrals, by the way, is being clear on what you do. Last question. I could draw a picture of my outcome displaying my client before and after the program. So picture your I'm thinking like stick figure, nothing too fancy. But could you draw like a stick figure version of your avatar where they are now, and then another one of them after the program, displaying the before and the after? So if your program was on how to launch your online course, the first stick figure would be somebody who's like scrolling the internet, looking confused, lots of question marks everywhere. And in the second one, they are standing there beaming with pride and their completed online course pulled up on their monitor. And there's also a sales page or something like that that has been created that people can buy it from, right? So it's just like you could theoretically, you don't have to do it, but at least be able to picture a drawing of the before and the after. All right, so if you scored yes on all of the questions, then congrats. Your offer is specific enough. And as always, you can run that by me and make sure that it sounds great. If you're unclear at all, you can always ask for help. But if you answered yes, have an outcome that's specific and measurable. And your prospects are going to understand exactly what your product does. Again, if you're still hung up on this, please don't just hide. Asking for help and getting some feedback is often the last step that can really unblock some people. But if you're good and you feel like, nope, my offer is specific, then go ahead and move on to the next training where we're going to dive into this mysterious process, not really, of making your income niched down. This is one of the most unique and special things that we can do in order to give you best chance of success in the market, is niching down that product one further step beyond where it likely is now. I will see you in that training.
All right, I hope that training was helpful for you all. And if you want to learn the bigger framework that I've built that's allowed me to create a multiple six-figure per year coaching business, I put it all into this video for you right here. Hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.